This podcast contains strong language and adult themes. Listener's discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to A Page Too Full, the show where each week one of us reads a book and tells the other all about it. Will it be bad? Will it be good? Let's find out.
My name is Leonidas. And my co-host for this evening is Cortana. Get it?
No. Because he's a Spartan?
Yeah, Spartans.
Okay.
Spartans,
Okay.
that's the connection.
There we go.
This week's book is How to Goodbye Depression.
I beg your pardon?
How to Goodbye Depression.
Goodbye, like hyphenated.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking like how to do good by depression, but no, it's how to goodbye depression. Okay.
Yeah, it's in good English, that's how to say goodbye to depression.
Right. But it's just they're using goodbye as a verb.
Yes.
Instead of say as a verb.
There's a subtitle to it.
Okay.
If you constrict anus 100 times every day, malarkey or effective way.
Oh God. So this is, before you even get any further.
Yes.
I know nothing about this book, right?
Okay.
This is a self-help book.
Yes.
That I'm going to say goes over different theories and different, I don't know the name for them, but like homebrew remedies?
Kind of.
Okay.
It is a self-help book. You could, I guess, put it in the health genre.
Sure.
I guess. It is written by Hiroyuki Nishigaki.
Okay.
A Japanese man.
Seemingly.
It was published in the year 2000. The same year as Biba and the King.
Huh.
It's not relevant, but I thought it was funny.
It's very interesting.
It is 243 pages long.
Solid.
So I picked this book because of the title.
How to Goodbye Depression.
How to Goodbye Depression.
It's a good title.
If you constrict anus 100 times every day. And all I knew about it was written by a Japanese man, and the grammar was horrible.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm very interested to know about this. And I thought it would be a lot more clinical.
Yeah.
Not the case.
Okay.
This book reminded me a lot of Conversations with the Crystal Skulls.
Oh dear.
Or interviews with the
Right.
Whatever.
Right. Episode 3.
Episode 3. It reminded me of that as well as Scientology.
Okay.
And there's also a kind of a reference to cows in here. We'll get to that.
I'm excited.
So let's jump in. How to Goodbye Depression. This book begins with a medical disclaimer.
Nice.
That says, this is not actual medical advice. Consult your doctor before attempting anything in this book. It's the only part of the book that is perfectly grammatically correct and all the spelling is correct.
Because the editor made it be because it had to be.
That or the author just Googled medical disclaimer and copy-pasted.
Sure.
I do know that the author actually wrote this all himself. He did the translation himself.
Oh, wow.
Which is why it's so bad.
That's also still impressive.
And also, goodbye is misspelled at the header on every single page.
How's it spelled?
It's spelled without the E at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
hate to see it.
It's spelled right on the cover, not on the pages.
Yeah. Oh, man. Missed it by that much.
So this book consists of 7 parts. I'll just call them chapters.
Sure.
Now call them parts. I wrote it down as parts. I thought I wrote it down as chapters.
I mean, if you say chapters, we'll understand where you're coming from.
So part 1 is entitled, If You Constrict Anus 100 Times Every Day. Pretty straightforward.
Do your Kegels.
Part 2, Turn to Bay Throwing Away Pride. Bay is spelled B-A-Y.
Oh.
Turn to Bay Throwing Away Pride.
Man, I thought you were bae. Turns out you're just fam.
Part 3, Do 3-week fasting. Save sex energy and rotate vortex.
All right.
Part 4, Stare. Shoot out immaterial fibers. Succeed in concentrating.
Okay, that one makes sense.
Behave with abandon largesse humor.
He used the word largesse.
Largesse, yes.
Wow.
And beckon the spirit.
Huh.
Part 5 is erase your bad stickiness and multiply various good feeling.
No comment.
Part 6 is follow comfortable body response.
Okay.
And part 7 is check your condition. Because you read that far into the book, there's obviously something wrong with you.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
So, part 1. If you constrict anus 100 times every day.
Why does that not sound like one of the weird ones?
Exactly. Once you get through all the parts,
Yeah.
it's like, that's the most normal one.
Like, oh, man.
So, part 1 begins with this. And I'm quoting this almost verbatim.
Okay.
I corrected a couple things just so it's more understandable, but this is what it said.
I think it is effective to cure or prevent.
Should I cut out the
No,
next
yeah,
sentence?
that's weird.
I'm sorry. I think it is effective to cure or prevent depression and become happy, healthy, efficient that you, number 1, constrict anus 100 times in succession and dent navel 100 times in succession every day following the lifestyle of long-lived British as possible. 2. Sometimes turn to bay throwing away pride, welcome an insult, or fall into the hell voluntarily, or occupy your time with something else. So,
I have thoughts about this.
you should fall into hell or get a hobby. You should do
Right.
something with your time.
Yeah.
Those are your options.
Yeah. Or turn to bay.
I'm going to be honest with you. I never found out what turning to bay means. I don't know what the fuck that means.
So I can't imagine this is correct because I don't know that it went back that far. But to me, bay in the terms of like turn to bay, throwing away pride, bay is like your girlfriend or your significant other.
Right. I doubt that's what he's saying because he doesn't really talk about that.
Yeah.
The only thing I could guess is what he means is look out over a body of water and contemplate.
Like a
on
literal bay.
Yeah, like your own humility or something.
Ah.
That's literally the only connection I can make because he doesn't explain that.
Okay.
Really. He does talk a lot about meditation
All right.
and a healthy lifestyle. So that's how I interpreted that part. I don't know. 3, enjoy taking advantage of a petty tyrant to temper yourself.
Get bullied.
Yes. 4, do 3-week fasting and excrete a bucketful of old black solid excrement which has stuck to your small intestine for long years.
Cleansing.
That's a fun part of the book. 5, reduce the frequency of sex or masturbation to less than half if possible.
But half of 0 is.
That's what I was going to say. It's like- okay. I mean, masturbation is included, so.
Sure.
6, rotate your energetic vortex of your body.
I like your center of being.
We'll get to it.
All right.
The first half of this book is formatted very strangely. It's printed as a bunch of messages on a forum.
Oh.
And I'm going to have to show it to you because I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what that means.
I'm going to pull out the actual book here. This is how it's formatted. Just take a look at it.
It's just emails.
It's like emails. I know it was on a news group. So they were DMs kind of. It's almost like Reddit where someone would post an article and then you would have people responding to it, right, underneath.
Yeah.
That's how the website was formatted that he was using, I believe.
Subject, from, date, message ID, news groups.
Right. It has all the info on it and it's
Before every single response.
and some responses include the text of the message they're responding to. So the first half of this book, I got through really, really quickly because a lot is just reprinted for some reason.
Right.
So the first half of this book is the author on a forum that's about depression
Mm-hmm.
and people who are depressed, and they talk with each other. And he goes on there and is like, look, I've got the cure for all of you guys. You need to constrict your anus 100 times a day and dent your navel 100 times a day, and you won't be depressed anymore. How do you think these people responded?
I think they would have said, what?
Yes. It's just a lot of messages between the author and these random people on this website. And most of them are just shit posting.
I'm so glad he has that disclaimer in front.
Right. Most people are just making it a total joke because it arguably is.
I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this book so far.
It's very weird. It's a very
Wow.
weird book. Yeah, so it's just him documenting his experience on this forum
Right.
before writing the book.
So this is like the preamble.
Exactly. This is how I came to write a book about this.
Huh.
And he's like, look, people, I know the secret. You just do these exercises every day and it'll make your life better. And then as it goes along, he starts throwing in more stuff. But we'll get to that.
Okay. Like a 7-step program.
So these messages are a mix of just jokes, questions about the technique, advice from the author, and it just a lot of random shit. There's so much of those messages. I don't know why he put it in the book, especially the jokes at his expense.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why put that in your book?
Hey, maybe he thought they were funny.
Maybe. I don't know. He never addressed any of the jokes or anything.
Huh. Maybe he just wanted to give a full... I'm attributing an actual scientific mind to this man. Maybe he wanted to give a full account of the responses he got.
Maybe.
Not all of the responses, but all the types of responses.
My theory is that he just wanted to show that people were taking the time to respond to it.
Sure. Okay.
Because, like...
It's the internet.
It's the internet, and I think he somehow thinks that adds validation to what he's saying, that people are responding to it. I think that's what it... So he literally included every message to see, like, see, people are talking about it.
They're writing about it. I must be right.
Yeah, after I just mentioned it, people are talking. It's like, because they're people on the internet. They're bored, and you're being stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
The author makes very bold claims about the benefits of anus exercises.
Okay.
It will cure depression. It will make you feel and appear 20 years younger.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's a good deal.
I would be a child.
I think he says, like, after decades, when you're getting older, it makes you look younger. It will strengthen your organs.
All right.
And there's more to come up. We'll just leave it at that for now. There are a lot of messages from users who say the exercise did nothing to relieve their depression.
Sure. Wonder why.
And, everyone else is just kind of mocking the idea. This is the most depressing part to me, is that there are people on this depression forum who are so fucking desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
They tried it.
And it didn't work.
And of course it didn't work.
Yep. Yep.
But I feel so bad for those people. Because they're like, I guess I'll tighten my butthole. Maybe that'll work, because nothing else is. Like, oh my God. One user says that they really want to strengthen their spleen, even though they have no idea what their spleen does.
Oh.
There are a lot of Uranus jokes.
Oh, sure.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I got tired of it.
When Earth aligns with Uranus.
Yeah. No, I was like, bro, we get it. Stop.
Yeah.
You're making the same joke over and over.
Yeah.
The author recommends that in addition to anus constrictions and navel dentations, that you also take a 1-hour stroll every day.
I mean, that I agree with.
A lot of his advice is just like very, very general.
Yeah.
Don't be a sad sack of shit. I don't know.
You depressed? Hey, try not being depressed.
Try doing something.
Yeah.
Another user recommends he take a hike.
Why don't you take a long walk off a short pier?
I thought that was pretty clever.
That is pretty clever.
The author claims that he was taught the technique by an old man.
Of course he was.
About 18 years ago. Which this was 20 years ago. So this is actually 48 or 49, or yeah, whatever. A long time ago.
Try it again. 38.
So he was taught the technique by a really old man.
Yep.
When he was younger.
Can I just say?
Yes.
Which you may be going here. The thought of an old man telling a young kid to constrict his anus is alarming.
It gets worse.
Oh, God. Okay.
So he says after doing the technique for a year, he found that it worked for him.
Okay.
He says the first person he taught it to was a female yoga instructor who was very depressed about losing her husband.
They were banging, right?
At this point, I think this is just a metaphor for anal sex.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
The author claims that curing constipation is part of the key to curing depression.
What if you're not constipated?
He doesn't address that.
Okay.
He recommends 6 bowel movements a day.
Holy shit.
If you're shitting that much, you are not healthy. That's not healthy.
Wow.
Healthy is 1 to 2 bowel movements a day.
Cited by?
The fucking WHO, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry. We don't have sources on this fucking
We don't
show.
do that here.
No. I have 1 a day if you want to know.
Yeah, I'm about there.
But then he also says if you don't poop, that's fine.
What? Do it or don't.
So constipation is in the way of curing your depression.
Right, but if you get rid of it, you'll be fine.
Yes.
But if you don't, you'll also be fine.
I mean, it's fine.
Maybe it's his way of saying, hey, everybody's different.
But
then why put it in
that
there?
defeats the whole purpose of his whole message.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just fuck off then.
Do it or don't.
The author claims that every ailment is the result of stress and or depression. This includes cancer, by the way.
Wow.
Yep. He says time and time again that he knows he would have had bladder cancer 20 years earlier if he had not known this technique.
Does he have bladder cancer now?
No.
Oh.
He might have passed away. I don't know. I'm sure it's impossible to find out.
Probably, but also he knows it.
He
It's
knows
beyond a
it.
shadow of a doubt.
He is very emphatic about that he would have.
Wow.
Yeah. He talks about starting a group of people that use this technique, right?
Sure.
And know about the benefits. And do you want to take a guess at what this group would be called?
The sphincters.
The Anus 100 Club.
Wow. Wow. I have a new goal.
And there, practitioners could post video testimonials of their success. Someone else commented that they don't want to be downwind of their first meeting. The author seems to go into like a sales pitch, and he's like, you can do this exercise whenever you're idle, waiting on the subway, waiting for an appointment, or when you're in a meeting, etc.
Yeah.
You just sit there and...
This is going to be horrible for an audio podcast, but do you know what I do in times like that when I'm waiting for something? I do this. I walk my fingers.
Oh, yeah, nice. I've never seen that before, actually. That's interesting. I usually pick my nose.
I mean, that's fair.
One of the users asks him if they can constrict the anus and dent the navel at the same time, because he specifically says do the anus first and then the navel second. And he's like, no, you can't fucking do that. Don't do that. Moving on.
Yes, sir, Mr. Anus Pounder 1000, sir. 100% anus beef.
Part 2. Turn to Bay throwing away pride.
Right.
The author tells a story about an elderly Buddhist disciple.
Okay.
Who never complained.
Oh, I mean, that's the whole point.
He wore whatever rags and ate whatever food people gave to him without remorse. One time, a person handed him a bowl of food, but while handing it to him, their rotting finger dropped off into the bowl, and the Buddhist ate that as well.
Can we pause for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is a Buddhist priest, would you say?
He's just called a disciple, so I guess a monk.
Disciple.
Or
Okay.
Either one. Yeah, whatever.
So he is just living off of what people give him.
Yes.
And somebody with a rotting finger gives him food.
Mm-hmm.
So he is thought very, very highly of, right? Because that person with the rotting finger presumably needs that food for himself. Elsewise, maybe his finger wouldn't be rotting.
I'm not sure. I mean, it makes a point of saying that what he got was not great.
Right. I understand that. That is the whole point of Buddhism is learning to accept your conditions, right?
Right. But you would think if people thought highly of him, they wouldn't just give him horrible stuff.
What if it doesn't have anything better?
I mean, fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I've always been kind of skeptical of that part of Buddhism.
Right. So a boy hands him a bowl. Rotten finger falls off.
Nice. Eats it.
The Buddhist eats it.
Does he sue Wendy's?
No.
That's a niche joke.
That was a very niche joke. Damn. That's kind of old too. I mean,
yeah, it was also potentially proven false at one point.
Yeah, I think they just lied about it. That was it.
Yeah.
The disciple ate the rotting finger as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Buddha asks the old man why he did this. And the old man told Buddha that he wished to be a good example to the younger generation.
I'm going to eat your fingers.
Now, I said he wanted to be an example to the younger generation because that's the only thing I could interpret from this jumbled grammatical mess.
I'll accept it.
It could be something else, but
it sounds Buddhist.
As far as I can tell, that's what his message was.
Buddhish.
Is you want to show the younger generation not to complain because of your circumstance.
Buddhistish?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What's the so if something resembles something else, it is that ish, right?
It's Buddhist.
But it resembles Buddhism.
Yeah, so you could say it's Buddhist.
You could, or you could say it's Buddhistish or Buddhish.
Oh, I guess.
Or I don't know. I was trying to find a fun way to say it.
So after this, the author talks about being in India and seeing a bunch of rich men cover themselves in mud.
All right.
And
seems more symbolic than anything.
And he thinks that's cool as shit. He wants to do it someday. He talks a lot about Buddhism. in how it teaches to discard pride, which really every religion teaches that.
Yeah.
He talks about hell, but it's extremely metaphorical and very confusing because it's so metaphorical and vague. I really don't know what he's talking about.
Does he just mean America?
No, he likes America.
Oh,
he
nice.
talks about it a little bit later, but he
my bro.
He talks about hell, and I like the way he talks about hell is how I feel a lot of people talk about hell, which is just like you being in a horrible place, right?
Sure, this is my hell.
I assume that is how he's talking about it, right?
Yeah.
He quotes an old general, in quotes, old general, because it doesn't give a name.
It's Sun Tzu.
It could be nobody. He could be making this up, but he quotes an old general, "If we strive to save, we will be killed. If we strive to die, we will be saved." And in quoting this, what he means is, I think it is better to live dangerously and look for death, because sometimes that is what saves you.
May I just throw this out there?
Yes.
YOLO.
Exactly. I mean, really, that's a big part of his message.
Carpe diem.
He's like, these stresses of being sick, of dying, of others dying, this is part of what makes us die. Because he's all about, like, stress is what gives you disease and illness.
Right. You said that earlier.
So anything that gives us stress, we need to learn to cope with. And his way of coping with death and stuff is to make it your friend. You got to become friends with death. So
Has
that
this
when
guy
you
ever
see
killed
him,
anyone?
I don't know. He's a little scary.
It seems like, I don't know. As a rule, I'm a little wary of people who want to befriend death.
He does say, this was probably the most shocking thing to me in this book. He does say at one part, now I know sometimes you just feel like you want to rape a woman. And that pricked my ears up because I was like, sorry? I'm sorry. I don't understand what you mean there.
Please be a translation error?
I hope so. I'm going to say right now, in the context it was in, I don't think it was a translation error.
I'm going to say right now, in the context that it was in, just don't rape people.
Right.
This has been another PSA from A Page Too Far.
That was in a section where he's talking about...
Actually, that might have been a PSA from a few episodes ago. Oh, no, it wasn't don't rape people. It was bestiality is wrong, and then don't be rude to people who can kill you.
Yes.
Those were the two
important
PSAs.
lessons there.
Yes. Let's add to that. Don't rape people.
Yeah, please don't rape people.
Yeah,
please.
just don't do it.
So after he talks about, coping with death and stuff and being more comfortable with it, he writes, I think we can sometimes cure a terminal cancer or depression if we don't follow the advice of the doctor.
Oh, no.
This is where things go downhill.
Oh, no.
He references the book The Fire from Within by Carlos Castaneda.
Okay.
Which he is a huge fan of because he quotes a few of his books.
Oh.
After the first one, I just stopped mentioning it because I'm like, we get it, dude.
Yeah.
And this author that he quotes defines petty tyrants, because that's mentioned in the part header.
Right, find a petty tyrant.
He defines petty tyrants as people who have allowed day-to-day stresses to fill them with negative energies, and who try to make those around them as miserable as possible.
I worked with a few people like that.
I know, that spoke to me when I heard that. Yeah. I was like, oh my Lord. That was my manager at my last job.
It was so much fun. It wasn't fun.
He recommends putting yourself under the power of a petty tyrant to temper your spirit.
In fairness, when I was working with people like that, it was almost an entire crew. Right. Nobody wanted to be there. We all hated it. It made me so goddamn happy because I was being happy out of spite.
Right.
Because if I come in like, hey guys, how's everybody doing? And everyone else is miserable.
Yeah.
I feel amazing because it's hilarious.
Again, you're part of the problem.
You're right. But also, a friend of mine has a sticker that says, I can do all things through spite, which strengthens me.
I love that quote.
It's a great quote.
He's kind of right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no.
Right.
Don't do that.
Don't intentionally put yourself in a terrible situation.
Right, because he talks about how stress is the worst thing ever. And then he's like, put yourself in the most stressful situation possible.
Right. Do it, but learn to cope with it. But what if I don't learn to cope with it? Well, then you're screwed.
Even if you can cope with it, why put yourself in that position?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Don't.
It's like an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it's not worth it. He says that you should remain in this state for 3 to 5 years. Fuck you.
What an interestingly specific.
He has a lot of just arbitrary numbers just thrown in. During this time, you can study the petty tyrant for weaknesses. Again, we're back to the psychopathy here.
How about the fact that I can't even. What? How about the fact that they're a terrible person? Is that a weakness?
When the time is right, and you are filled with the happy, lucky feeling, you should shoot out your immaterial fibers at the tyrant from your abdomen in order to defeat him.
Just picturing walking up to somebody, just jerking off on them.
Again,
What?
all of this could be interpreted metaphorically as something horrible.
Right.
He's just a sex deviant. I think that's it.
That sounds like, because that still is just, it's just sex.
Yeah, it's just,
That's why.
Also, I just love, because this is like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just imagining, like, after the first year of being around a shitty person, he like whispers, "Ka," and then year two, he's like, "May," and then every year he adds until the final, he's like, "Ha!" And he just obliterates the person, and it's coming out of his navel, just like, pew. That'd be awesome.
Some Scanlan dick lightning there.
Part 3: do 3-week fasting. Save sex energy and rotate vortex.
I am a fan of intermittent fasting.
The one I was most interested in was rotate vortex.
Yeah,
I was
intrigued
there.
Yeah.
Fast for 3 weeks, and you will excrete 5 kilograms of black shit.
That's oddly specific.
That's like a little over 11 pounds.
Yeah.
Of shit.
Does he mean in the 3 weeks?
Yeah, during that time, I believe.
Okay.
But that's still a lot of black shit.
Yeah.
Because this, remind you, this black shit is supposedly stuck in your innards.
Right.
So that you have 11 pounds of shit stuck in you that's not passing.
Yeah.
Which I want to point out, that was the cow's connection. Because, like, Lucy, what was her name? Believed there was black poison in people.
Right.
Making them awful people.
Right.
This guy is saying the same thing.
He read cows.
Yeah.
Or the guy who read cows read this.
Maybe. Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, it would have had to be the other way because cows came out sooner.
This earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's black poison that makes you a horrible person, makes you depressed, makes you awful.
I hate it.
I hate it too, but it's there. I don't think cows won't have come out by the time this episode, so people won't know what we're talking about yet.
It'll be the bonus episode for Patreon in October.
Yeah, check it out. Or don't.
Or don't.
We're fine with you not checking it out, but
Yeah,
okay.
Enter at your own risk, but, we recorded it.
The author emphasizes the need to strengthen the heart.
I'm with that.
When he talks about strengthening organs, he's talking both physically and metaphysically.
All right. I mean, it makes sense.
Because in his mind, they're the same. To do this, there are several different things you should do.
Okay.
You should massage the thumb's root on your left wrist, eat bitter foods, and think of beautiful women.
What if you're not into beautiful women?
You're just fucked, I guess.
Oh.
He does say at one point, because he talks a lot about Buddhism, and one of the aspects of Buddhism is that you can't have sex with the opposite sex on like certain days or something.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the users asked him, does that mean that a homosexual relationship is okay on those days?
Yeah.
Because it specifically says opposite sex.
Right.
And he puts in, he's like, just because I said opposite sex does not mean that homosexuality is okay. And it's like, oh, okay, Jesus.
So that's a no.
He doesn't like homosexuality. That was like one of the few moments in the book where he capitalized his words. And I was like, okay.
He's just really against it.
Yeah.
All right.
The red part of your complexion is evidence of a strong heart.
I blush easy.
You have a strong heart?
I actually have a history of having a weak heart. The opposite of that is true. My biological family had a history of heart problems.
Yeah, no, heart disease runs in my family too. It sucks. The author claims that eventually the strong red energy of your heart will burst out violently from your body
That's a bad thing.
like a flamethrower
Oh.
and can consume objects.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board, bro.
I want a Tesla flamethrower.
Yeah, I eat a lot of Honey Nut Cheerios, so I should be able to do this at will. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Burninating the peasants. He's tractor.
He begins talking about how constricting your anus and denting your navel can improve your sexual energy.
Is it just because you're having anal sex?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you have a tight butthole now, and your abs are, like, awesome, so you can thrust better. Like, yeah, he's just talking about anal sex. That's all he's doing.
This is a strange episode.
This is a very weird one. But he claims that the accumulation of sexual energy gives you supernatural powers.
Holy hell. Okay. So Hugh Hefner's a god, right?
Well, I thought he had sex all the time.
Isn't that what that means?
No, I'm sorry. He's saying that you should accumulate sexual energy by not having sex.
Oh, you got to build it up.
Right. Because,
oh.
So this is the way he looks at it, is that when you have sex with a woman,
yeah,
being a man, then you are giving up some of that sexual energy.
Okay.
And she is as well. And with that energy, because it's almost like a life essence that you have accumulated, that turns into a human. So it's life energy creating life energy.
Right. So if you hold on to it, you gain that life energy.
Then it just keeps building up.
I see.
Until you're a Jedi. That's why the Jedi don't have sex.
Oh my God. We cracked it. Ladies and gentlemen, we cracked the code.
If they do, they're just like, I can't grab my lightsaber
I wish we had a camera in here because I totally just turned towards it.
So basically, he's a no-fap subscriber.
Yeah.
He's like, don't have sex. You will be able to see through walls.
Oh, God.
Eventually, okay. Here we go again. Eventually, you will feel an explosion within your body. Dude, you're so backed up. You just came involuntarily. That's what that is.
It's called a wet dream.
Your energies will form vortexes, and the pathways between your chakras will be clean. He specifies that your vortexes can be in multiple different directions. They can be horizontal, they can be vertical, they're all over the place, okay?
Okay. So by not having sex,
right,
you're building up sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
By building up sexual energy, you are becoming a Super Saiyan.
Yes.
By becoming a Super Saiyan, you are reversing the energies and opening your chakras.
Right.
I see no problems with this.
So, the supernatural powers he lists are like straight out of D&D. It's just the wizard spell list. It's like I could talk to animals. I can lift an object that's less than a pound. It's a weird list.
Cast Mage Hand?
Yeah, it's fucking weird. He also attributes Jesus Christ's miracles to his abstinence.
I have heard that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not put in this way, but yes.
It has nothing to do with him being the literal physical incarnation of God?
No.
It's that he didn't have sex?
Yeah. Well, no, and the place I heard it was from people that believe that he was not God.
Right,
that
okay.
He was, a man who had power that came from somewhere, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Looked at all kinds of different theories about that at one point.
And abstinence was part of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't the sole key. It was part of it.
So this is actually a new one for me because I've only ever heard of people believing that Jesus Christ was the Son of God and that's how he could perform miracles.
Right.
Or Jesus Christ was just a man and the miracles didn't happen.
Right.
I never heard someone be like,
¿Por qué no las dos?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, he's not the Son of God, but he did do miracles. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Of course, there are people that are like, he was a space alien and that's how he was able to do stuff.
Right.
But
I mean, think of an interpretation and it's there.
Part 4. Stare.
Stop and stare. I think I'm moving, but I go nowhere. I listened to that on the ride over here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stare, shoot out immaterial fiber.
I thought we did that.
Well, you touched on it, but we're going to go into more detail about it. Succeed in concentrating.
Right.
Behave with abandon largesse humor. That's all hyphenated. That's abandon hyphen largesse hyphen humor.
Wow.
And beckon the spirit.
Hey, yo, spirit.
You spirit, get the fuck over here. My voice is so fucked.
That was not great. Wow.
I can't do much
that
right now.
That sounded painful.
The author here defines depression as the inability to shoot out immaterial fibers or third attention to an outside object.
Can I get a definition on the definition?
So you can't shoot out immaterial fibers.
Right.
You're fucking depressed.
Huh.
We're both depressed, apparently.
How do I know if I can't? Or if I can?
Have you tried?
No.
Let's try it right now. can't do this. I don't like both of us staring at each other and tensing up.
I'm staring at the wall. Thank you.
Okay, I was staring into your eyes, so maybe that made it worse.
No, I was looking right there.
Okay. So and then he adds on third attention to an outside object.
Right.
It took me the entire book to figure out what he meant by third attention. I think he's referring to your third eye.
Oh, all right.
Because if you change it to third eye, it all of a sudden starts making sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why he translated that to attention. I don't know. So basically he's saying if you can't shoot out immaterial fibers from your being, and if you can't open your third eye...
Third sight, maybe?
Maybe.
That's how we got there?
Maybe that could be it.
I'm thinking Google Translate way.
Right. If you can't utilize your third eye,
right,
then you're depressed, apparently.
Right.
He claims that the opposite of this is enthusiasm. So this may be a translation thing, depression and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot more nuanced to him in Japanese than it is
probably,
in English.
yeah.
But he claims that, if you're able to shoot out immaterial fibers, and if you can utilize your third sight,
right,
then you are enthusiastic. You are the definition of enthusiasm. And you're no longer depressed. He talks about different forms of meditation in power spots.
Ooh.
I don't know what power spots are.
Places of power?
Yeah, that's what I guessed from it, is that it's like, this is a spot where I can do the best with what I have, I guess. I don't know.
This is my spot.
Allowing one to use their third attention. Through their third attention, they can shoot immaterial fibers. There we go. Okay, so
it is a Kikoho.
Yeah, apparently. So you need to be able to utilize your third attention in order to do this.
Yeah.
There are different kinds of spirits inside of you, creating energies that form vortexes and immaterial fibers.
Okay.
Okay.
We went from Goku to Tien, and now we're in the Last Airbender Monk Gyatso, not Monk Gyatso, the other guy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he has a name.
This reminds me a lot of Interviews with the Crystal Skulls.
Yeah.
You have light codes inside of you.
Yeah,
you just need to
exactly.
learn to utilize them. These spirits have different colors that represent different attributes.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, we've been over this.
The red spirit gives joyful energy.
That's the opposite of what red normally means.
The blue spirit, cunning energy. The black spirit, patient energy. And the yellow spirit, sweet energy.
I mean, he got Hufflepuff, right?
He mentions a lot of other spirit colors, but then just doesn't say what they do.
Oh.
So, okay.
I guess he got Ravenclaw, too. What was black?
Black is patience.
No, that's not Slytherin.
So the spirits and colors also relate to certain organs. That's where it ties in, right?
That you're going to make a Captain Planet joke.
I have the red spirit.
Heart.
I have the bladder. He's the yellow one. Red is heart. Blue is liver. Black is kidney. And yellow is the spleen.
Kidneys are patient and the liver is cunning.
The liver knows how to filter out all the poisons we put in it. So there you go.
But that's what kidneys do too.
But they're more patient than the liver, I guess.
I think they're more fragile than the liver.
That too, yeah. By the way, do you know what the spleen does?
No. Creates insulin?
It does a couple things. It creates certain, proteins and stuff your body needs.
Yeah.
It plays a big part in your immune system, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And then it also makes blood types. I forget. It's not white blood cells. I think it makes a certain kind of blood cell, though.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, I still don't know what the spleen does.
Exactly. I don't know if you could live without it. I feel like you could live without it, but you would just
get their spleens removed.
You would, yeah. So you'd probably
spleens rupture.
Do you need insulin or something, or it's like something?
I don't know.
Medication?
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. No, neither is this guy. The author highlights evangelical preachers as examples of people with these abilities.
Interesting.
Right. So he's talking specifically about.
See this guy? He's got kidneys. He's got a liver.
No, he's talking about what do they call the people who feel or who are possessed by the Spirit of God?
Pentecostals?
And, yes, Pentecostals. He's talking about Pentecostals.
Uh-huh.
And he's saying, you see how the preachers use the Spirit's energy within them to move their audience
Sure.
into action, I guess?
Yeah.
And he's claiming that is what this ability is. When you're shooting out your immaterial fibers, you can influence things around you however you want.
That's fascinating, but most Pentecostal preachers, as far as I know, aren't celibate or abstinent.
True.
There are branches where they are.
He highlights a lot of flaws with these individuals. He's essentially saying they're talented. He's like, they can do it naturally to an extent.
Okay.
But then one preacher, he's like, this guy's fat as fuck. He's not doing it right. But then I'm like, bro, nobody knows who the fuck you are. Like, they're doing better than you.
I'm so curious if he names names.
He does.
Oh, I want to hear those names.
I didn't write them down.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't write them down.
Does he talk about Kenneth Copeland?
No.
Fuck Kenneth Copeland.
He talks about a few that were back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, this is from 2000.
Right. This was back in like
pre-Joel Osteen.
When he was like this. There one guy was from the 70s. That's how long ago these guys were. So that's he's name dropping these guys, and this is really fucked up.
Just after the charismatic movement.
So he'll put the name of the guy because he lists a bunch of them. So after he puts the name of the guy in parentheses, he'll put the place they're from.
Oh.
So he put this guy from Florida in the United States, this guy from Argentina, this guy from South Africa, and then he puts this guy, and then in parentheses it just says Jew.
Wow. Oh, no.
And every time his name comes up, it has parentheses Jew.
Buffy. Oh.
Holy shit. So this guy's not only a complete quack.
He's also anti-Semitic.
He's also anti-Semitic, and he's homophobic.
Wow. The trifecta.
He claims U.S. presidents like Ronald Reagan.
Of course he does.
And George Bush Sr.
All right. Okay. They were one and the same.
They were elected because of their enormous spirit.
Does he mean penis?
He describes George Bush's spirit as, and I quote, red-orange colored, a secret weapon like a sharp dagger side thrown by hand and can enlarge to the same width as the state of California, about 2,000 kilometers high.
So he's got a California-sized Buster sword?
He's got a fucking enormous Zanpakuto. He just pulls it out of his own soul, and he's like, rah!
Just carrying Guts' sword, but it's California? Dude. What the?
Again, could be a metaphor for his dick.
Could be. I would prefer that, I think.
I think so. So there was more in this part, but I did not find it interesting at all. That was literally the only fun parts that I put right there. So part 5, erase your bad stickiness and multiply various good feeling.
I'm just going to pass on that. Use a wet wipe.
So this part really just repeats some of the methods he uses for meditation.
Okay.
He says that what he does or what he recommends you do is you should stare at either a rock, a tree, a star, or an animal.
All right.
And you just keep staring and you enter some type of altered state, like a meditation sort of. I don't know. That's how he describes it.
So he's talking about zoning out.
Yeah. He's talking about getting so bored you daydream here.
Yeah.
And in this meditative state, supposedly you can expel sticky fibers from your body.
Expelliarmus!
Just like cover someone. So later he says, you must test yourself in order to know if you have enough good feeling in you to move on to the next steps of his process.
Test yourself before you rest yourself.
So there are 2 methods.
To testing yourself.
All right. The first method, think of someone who is separate from you. Someone you know.
Okay.
Possibly someone you have a connection with.
Yeah.
You must think about them in a positive manner. Like think about something you really appreciate about them. Some good quality.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Positive vibes.
I'm doing this, by the way.
Okay.
Yep.
You do this for up to 30 minutes.
Well,
I'll wait.
Said up to, right?
Up to, could be a few seconds.
All right, I'm good.
Okay. If you have passed the test, then someone will give you a gift. This is immediately, by the way. This is like within the next 5 minutes.
Oh.
Someone will give you a gift.
Okay.
Call you on the phone.
All right.
Invite you to dinner.
Okay.
Or someone will recover from a sickness or illness.
Is this the same someone or is this just...
It's just one of those things from the person
Okay. The
It
person
doesn't-
you're thinking about.
No, it doesn't even specify the person
It just
you're thinking
says
about.
someone's
it just says
going to-
someone.
Huh.
Someone you know will do one of those things.
Huh.
So are you thinking?
I'm thinking.
Thinking? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What's up?
I'm getting a phone call.
You're getting a phone call?
Hang on. Let me answer it.
Oh my God, it's real.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Oh man, nothing much. I was just testing this like meditation theory, and it said that
What?
somebody was going to call me in 5 minutes or give me a gift.
Whoa, that's weird, bro.
Yeah. I feel like you should Venmo me $5.
Fuck you.
What a bit.
I don't think that was worth it, but whatever.
I don't think it was either, but I had fun.
So that's method 1.
It proven.
Proof and effective. Method 2
Yep.
is somewhat simpler.
Oh.
You stare at a stray cat,
Oh.
and if it suddenly lies on its back and shows you its belly, then you have passed the test.
Aw. That's so cute. That does mean they feel that they're safe.
Right, but also, I would just do that every time because it's more likely to happen.
I haven't seen any stray cats around here.
No, I've seen a couple. I walk around a lot more than you do, though.
Yeah, I don't. I drive. I've seen a lot of dead raccoons. Do those count? Their bellies are up.
Part 6. Wait a minute.
Waiting a minute.
So in the part 5 title, it says bad stickiness, right?
Right.
And I don't think I've explained bad stickiness.
No, I don't think you have. I'm
It's
assuming it's negative energy.
pretty much. It's just any bad feelings you have, any malevolence, any anger, just all that bad
Something
juju.
that's clinging to you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Interesting.
Part 6. Follow comfortable body response. This part is all about proper diet and exercise.
I'm into that.
Pay attention to how your body responds to the changes you make, and if they're, if your body
If
is
positive, do the thing more.
right, if your body responds positively, keep doing it.
Huh.
This part of the book is surprisingly like common sense and scientific.
So my body in particular responds very well to heroin.
But like once you're off the heroin, does it respond?
No, it's horrible.
Okay, so like you need to try something.
Okay.
And you have to take in all aspects of that something. So how it is
Okay.
before, during, after, a week later,
I see.
and that's how you determine how your body responds fully to it.
All right.
That's the whole fucking chapter. It's just that. It's just like, hey, eat a lot of veggies, go for a walk, drink a lot of water, don't sit down too long every day.
Whoops.
That's no, already failed. That's literally the whole chapter is just that. It was a really boring chapter. Nothing crazy. He didn't say anything crazy.
I mean, it just sounds like he's giving decent advice at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's not what we're here for.
Part 7.
Yeah.
Check your condition.
Before you wreck your condition. Third time's a charm.
In this last part, the author essentially reiterates everything he said about the connection between spirit and body.
In closing.
Pretty much. He just summarizes everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Check Your Condition because at the end, he asks the reader to examine themselves.
Now you know, so now you're accountable.
Yeah, so
right?
they're like,
how do you feel about it?
yeah, look at yourself. What do you think your condition is?
Oh, look
Where do
at
you
you.
think you're at?
Aw.
So I challenge you to ask God what he has in store for you.
Is it punching you in the face? Because that's what that accent makes me think of.
So
God.
at the end,
You
he
have to have an extra breath at the end of the word,
I
too.
don't know, because
No, I don't know why they do, but hallelujah.
they're pompous windbags.
Yeah. Fuck Kenneth Copeland.
Fuck Kenneth Copeland. At the end, he thanks the reader for reading his book, in spite of his terrible English.
Aw. English is my second language. Please be gentle.
So that was the end. Do you have any questions? If I maybe glanced over something.
No, I think you kind of interpreted everything as well as you could. There were no lingering. Of course, for me, there were no lingering questions because most of it I was having trouble keeping track of in the first place.
Right.
So if you missed something, I don't recall. You kind of described Bay as Bay was the biggest question I had because you said that was like going and looking out over a body of water, but that leads more into like the finding a meditation spot.
Right.
And going from there. So that kind of got answered. No, I think all things considered, that was a very cohesive summary.
It came off to me as more it's so similar to Interviews with the Crystal Skulls, where it's like,
yeah,
you could have just like summarized all of this in like a couple pages.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of repetition, a lot of saying the same thing 5 different ways. And then all of it is just like most of it's bullshit anyway. So
Right. No, I absolutely see why you compared it to Interviews with Crystal Skulls and Scientology. Because it absolutely feels like a cross between those two books.
Yeah. And when he talks about shooting out immaterial fibers, it sounds so much like the Thetan in like astral projecting. Because he's like, that is a part of your being reaching out and physically affecting things.
Right.
So like that's what that reminded me of. He mentioned some things in this book that I think that the translation just wholly lost any meaning.
Right. I'm sure.
And I'm just like, I have no idea what he's saying here.
Yeah.
So I would love I don't know if there's a better translation. I would love to read it again just to figure out some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's since this is kind of short,
A little bit.
I wanted to do something a little extra.
Oh, you're always extra.
I've written down some fun ass facts.
Oh, okay. So these are some fun ass facts.
Some fun ass facts. I don't have a lot. So how about I say one and then you just say one that's on your mind or you can think.
I'll riff off it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 1, your butthole is actually 2 valves. The internal involuntary sphincter.
Sure.
And the external voluntary sphincter.
Oh.
So when you feel like you got to poo.
That's the internal one.
That's pressure on the internal.
And then you fire one out.
Yeah. So what's your first fun ass fact?
My first fun. So here's what I'm going to say. You're doing fun ass facts.
Right.
I'm doing fun ass facts.
Okay.
Right. Like there's a hyphen there, so they're not necessarily ass facts.
Okay, I'm down.
My first. This is an aside to my first one. My aside to my first one is I love that the phrase. I also hate that the phrase "thetan" has become part of our vocabulary.
You're welcome.
We have used it on more than one occasion now since that book, and I hate it, but it's also kind of funny. So that's the aside there. But no, my first fun ass fact is that if you say "rise up lights" in a British accent,
rise up lights,
you are saying razor blades in an Australian accent.
Razor blades, rise up lights, razor blades.
Rise up lights. It's an intro to an accent.
It's close.
Yeah.
I like beer can.
Yeah. That was going to be my next one.
Jamaican and British. I like that one.
Beer can in a British accent is bacon in a Jamaican.
Fun ass fact number 2.
Yeah.
A study was done by the University of Pittsburgh and the University of California that determined that women with bigger butts consistently perform better at cognitive testing. This might be because the butt and hip area of the body store a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for the brain. They're also good for the development of fetuses during pregnancy, and the researchers found that women with bigger butts tended to have smarter kids as well.
Huh.
That was fascinating to me.
That's very interesting. That also took me back to, so my next fun ass fact is, this is kind of a fun ass fact as well, is in middle school, omega-3 fatty acid was what the kids called the fat kids. Because you're calling them a fat ass without...
covertly there.
Exactly, without getting in trouble.
Right.
Now, the teachers still caught on because that's not subtle. But yeah, the 8th grade bullies, of which I'll be honest, I was not one of them.
I feel like in middle school, if someone called me an omega-3, I would feel like, oh, wow, that sounds so cool.
You know, omega-3 fatty acid. Well, they would always stress fatty acid.
Oh, okay.
So like you knew.
I got it.
You knew. And by you, I mean me. I knew what they were saying.
I'm sorry.
I was bullied in middle school.
I'm sorry.
I had
I'm saying your fucking name. Fuck! God damn it. My throat hurts.
It was me. I was bullied in middle school. And now here I am. Look at me now. Haters, what you gonna do?
All right. Fun ass fact number 3.
Yeah.
Certain species of turtle, while hibernating, will breathe through their butthole.
I have heard of this.
This process is called cloacal respiration.
Yes. That is a thing. So my fun ass fact number 4.
Okay. I'm
very strongly considering getting a tortoise as a pet.
That's a good pet.
Yeah.
They're easy to keep. They live forever.
Yeah. The only thing, I'm afraid of the commitment.
The commitments.
I mean, you get a cat or a dog, right? You got a solid 7 to 15 years, depending, right? Depending.
Yeah. But it's a tortoise.
But a tortoise, you got to keep it. You got to feed it. You got to take care of it for like 50 years.
It's really easy, though. It's easier than a fucking fish.
What I'm saying is if I go on vacation, will you feed my tortoise?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So here on the show, we have a series of ratings that we give our books every episode. It's a 1 to 5 scale. You have 1 being toilet paper. The book is not worth the material it's printed on, if that. 2, shampoo bottle. It's there. You can read it, maybe on the pot, something like that. 3, we have an IKEA manual. It's competent, well written, maybe not entertaining. It's not perfect, but, it's better than nothing. 4, we have a Kindle Pick, which is something that is entertaining, maybe worth picking up at like a discount store or owning electronically. And number 5 is a hardcover. It's a book you must own. Instant classic. So, Leonidas, what is your rating for How to Goodbye Depression?
This is a pretty easy rating for me. I'm going to call it shampoo bottle.
Okay.
It has some entertainment value.
But it is not competently written.
No,
Yeah.
It is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Even more so than Interviews with the Crystal Skulls. Even more, like, this is the messiest book I've
I was
ever read.
at least able to follow the thread of Interview with the Crystal Skulls, right?
Right.
It at least had some, not plot, but some development in it.
This one bounced around all
Yeah,
over the place. And like he would mention something and I'd have no idea what it is and he'd be talking about it and then he'd define it later. And it was such a mess. And like the first half is just like a message board and he copied and pasted a bunch of messages that had the same text over and over.
Right.
And most of it was just people making fun of him.
Just a lot of repetition and just a lot of like, why is this here?
Yeah, it's like, why did you put this in your book? And it felt kind of like a waste of time because he didn't get into any specifics in that part.
Right.
And it was all later when he was actually like writing a book. I think at some point I might want to look more into this author.
Mm-hmm. See if he's written anything else or
See if I can get more context.
Yeah.
Or maybe a better translation.
maybe an email address or a forum.
Yeah, because I feel like
Seems like he'd respond.
I feel like this guy is like a gold mine.
Could be.
If we could just get through the horrible translation.
Yeah.
And all that. Like he said some really fucked up things in there.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, don't rape people.
Don't rape people.
Fun ass fact number 5.
You better not be homosexual
Or Jew.
or Jew. You oh Jesus Christ.
No, not him either.
Not him either. So yeah, I would give it a shampoo bottle. I was going to like when I got this, I was so fucking excited when I bought this book.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, this seems like the best book ever. And I figured by the end of it, I would really want to put it on our shelf. But now I'm not sure because there's really not much to it.
Yeah.
But it is such a novelty to be owning this book. Like, I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to look at it again unless I can find more information on the author. So, like, maybe we could put it on the shelf for now and
We'll
maybe
put it
get rid of
aside on the
later?
shelf, maybe, because I mean, we have something for Scientology.
Right.
We have something for the Crystal Skulls.
Yeah.
This is kind of both of those. We have Zabiba and the King, and we have Time Blender. Let's put it up there tentatively,
Okay.
and we can go from there.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. There it goes. It's on the shelf now. Yeah. Because I feel like this was not an impactful book at all. It was very short. It was very disjointed and confusing. It had some laughs, but really, I think I'm going to forget about this book pretty quick.
Did you? Well, that kind of just answered my question. I was going to say, did you take anything from it? Do you think there's a lesson that you might have learned?
That
Good, bad, ugly.
crazy comes from every country. That's what I took away from this.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
But as far as good advice, it's just really basic shit from him.
Exercise, eat healthy.
Meditate, enjoy nature when you can.
Yeah. Don't jack off and you'll become a super being.
Right.
All the classic.
George Bush Sr. had a giant blade cock. Something like that. I kind of forget now.
So did Ronald Reagan. It was the size of California.
That's right. Ronald Reagan didn't have a blade cock. He had something else, but I forget what it was.
it was George Bush who had the okay.
Right,
yeah.
it was
they
George
both had
Bush.
the same energy but different manifestations.
Right. It manifested in different ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have social media.
No, we don't. I deleted them.
Oh. All right, that's it. See you guys later.
All right, bye.